Carl Chin on BBC WM.
It's a Sunday afternoon, it's Remembrance Sunday, and we are remembering today. We had a moving poem of Robert from King's Standing, played some music from Anne Shelton, who was also a 40s sweetheart in the Second World War, not just Vera Lynn, she was also a big star as well. And we've heard from Eric about the events taking place tonight at the Regimental Museum of the Staffordshire Regiment up at Whittington. I now want to go and say hello to a chap called Bill Danks, who is chairman of the local branch of the Dorset Regiment. Bill, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Tell me, Bill, I've got to ask this question. Brummagem boy, proper Brummagem lad, what are you doing in the Dorsets?
I joined the Warwicks initially. I went to join the Warwicks, went up to Cars Lane. I'd been blowed up a couple of times, and I thought I'd be safer in the army. So off I went to Cars Lane, asked to join the Warwicks, and they said, they're full up. We'll stick you in the Dorsets. And when I arrived at the camp, practically every other bloke was a Brummie. I felt really at home. So that was it.
So was they recruiting specially from Brummagem?
No. I think they were leaving it up to the people at the recruiting centre.
Right.
You know, their job was to sort out different regiments, which battalions were up to strength, which were under strength, and they were doing their best. And the Dorset Regiment is a good, fine regiment. And I know, because I was in it.
I know you do, and I've met all of you. You were very good to me. I've come to the United Services Club.
You did.
And you were really good. Now, listen, before we talk about the Dorset, you mentioned there that you got blowed up twice. Tell us about that.
Well, it was the reason I went in the army, really. I went to the pictures with a mate named Mickey Vaughan.
Yeah.
And it was November the 30th, 1940.
Yeah.
And an air raid warning sounded, and the picture house started to rock and roll. And I said, come on, Mick, we're out of this. It's a big one tonight. And we ran along Coventry Road, and there were a gang of girls running, arm in front, like girls do.
Yeah.
And an old pal, Albert Martin, shouted, Windy, as we run past him. And then this bomb dropped, and it blowed me straight through Perks' shop window. I didn't know it was Perks at the time. I found out ages after. And don't know how long I was there, but when I came round, I was screaming down the road for Mickey.
Yeah.
And I found him in the middle of the road. And I knew it was him because he'd bought himself a pair of black and white patent dance shoes.
Yeah.
His head had been blown half off.
Oh, God.
And I was trying to drag him along a bit. I had shrapnel in my arms and my hand. And these wardens came up. Come on, we'll take you to Green Lane swimming baths.
Yeah, which was a first aid post.
I said, no, you're not. I'm going home. And it's funny, this is. All my life I've realised it. Don't matter how much you love certain members of the family, the one you call for when you're in trouble is your mum. I said, no, I'm going home. And I went dashing down Little Green Lane, up the terrace. Mum, I've been hit. Of course, into the shelters. They were a godsend, those Anderson shelters.
Yeah.
And while they were bandaging me up and seeing to things, a bomb hit the house. So we were buried. And the Atkins family and the Powell family either side, they was shifting bricks off us for about an hour after. And as I say, I thought, well, I ain't having this for the game. I'm going to join the army.
How old was you?
I was just turned 16. And I went and joined up. And the thing that sticks out in my mind, have you ever seen a fellow come out of the army, Carl, looking worse than he went in?
Go on.
You don't.
No.
You go in, and the only little mishap, well, it wasn't a mishap, the thing that held us back a bit was the pay was 14 shilling a week.
Yeah.
14 shilling. I allowed Mum a shilling a day out of that.
7 bob.
And that left me 7 bob. Out of that, I got to buy dubbing, boot polish, brasso, and things like that. But the thing was, when you're with a gang of mates, you don't really want a stack of money. You got your singer, you got your politician, you got your comedian, you know.
Yeah.
And you have the time of your life in a barrack room.
Yeah.
Somebody got a mouth organ, starts playing, and you have the time of your life. You know, it gets me. You have free dental treatment. First thing they did when I had my dental check-up in the army, they took 3 teeth out. I thought, this is a fine start. Then there's all your inoculations.
Yeah.
And that, what is it? Tetanus.
Yeah.
That, you have 75 hours excuse duty with that. Because your arm seems going to be dropped
It
up.
does.
But that's it. Sport. As much sport as you like.
Yeah.
Gymnasium to go and train.
So for a 16-year-old lad from the back street, this was something special.
It was heaven.
Yeah.
Sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah.
None of this 5, 10, 22 a bed business, you know. It's those were the days when there's a load of slums about then. But in my opinion, there's a difference in the way you work that slums business out.
Yeah.
You can live in slums and have a beautifully clean house.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't have to worry about the only thing was sharing a toilet.
Yeah.
I bet you every time I wanted to go to the toilet, old Mr. Pell was there. You know.
And you had to hold it.
And I was just saying, Mum, go and tell Mr. Powell to come off the toilet. Because then as in the army, you find that when you're in trouble, the lads are there. Yeah. Your platoon was the champion platoon in the entire British Army. Don't matter what others there was.
Do you know, it struck me, you talking there, and something that struck me before, that for the backstreet kids like you, the platoon was like your backyard.
Was, yeah.
Then the company was like your street.
That's right.
The battalion was your neighbourhood.
It was your family.
And the regiment was your city.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I got shot in the leg doing regarding an ammunition dump in Greece. And you blew a whistle. Yeah. If you saw anything. Now, you got to be careful firing off bullets in an ammunition dump.
You ain't
right? Although they're dug into the ground and all that. That's why you carried your one clip of ammunition in your pocket, not in your rifle. You don't want to stray around going it in. And the whistle blow, that meant we was being raided, and they were all communist guerrillas.
Yes.
Sorry, English.
So was this just after the war?
Yes, just after the war.
Yeah, when they had the civil war in Greece.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I went chasing after them. I got a Tommy gun. And we'd been playing cards, you know, and this whistle went, and away we went. And what they did, they dropped one or two back with guns to stop us chasing while we could see with the cases of ammunition on the shoulders. And I blasted away, and I went to jump over this wall. Down I went. And I thought I'd been shot in the belly. Yeah. Where I'd been nicked in the leg by a bullet. And I hadn't done my belt up when I run out of the hut. Right. And the belt had dug into my belly. Yeah. And I thought I'd been shot in the belly. And I screamed blow murder. You know, they got hold of me, got me down, whipped my trousers down, pulled my shirt up, big bruise there. And I just spit on it. Just nothing, so. Yeah, get on. And for weeks after that, all that was shouting after me, how's your belly, Billy? Yeah. So it was embarrassing, but that's the way they are.
Billy, sorry, let me just take you back to that terrible incident, November the 30th.
Yes.
And your mate Mickey.
Yes.
Obviously he was dead.
Yes.
Did you see his family after?
And yes, I saw his mum.
Did you?
Well, you don't know what to say to him,
no.
do you? She'd heard that he'd been killed. Somebody, the neighbours had told her, and that he'd been with me. And they just look at you. Yeah. It hasn't sunk in, and you say, I don't say, Mrs. Vaughan. He was a scenery painter at the Alexander Theatre.
What's that?
Mickey. And he taught me the deaf and dumb language. We got a deaf and dumb kid lived in the street. And I seen Mickey doing this. I said, what you doing? He said, I'm teaching him the deaf and dumb language. And A-E-I-O-U with the 5 fingers on your hand, the vowel. Right. And he taught me how to do all that. And I noticed when I put that memorial thing in the bull ring, I found his name.
Did you find his name?
And Albert Martin, who shouted Windy after us, he had both his legs bowed off. They found him in, who was that? Dry cleaners. Beckett's, was it? Dry cleaners. They found him in the doorway there.
Dead.
And that's all. I never, and I thought, I'm going in the army.
What happened to the wenches that was running in front of you?
All over, spread all over the place.
All dead.
You spread all it was Darrell's paint place over the road that had the big knock log, you know. But I'll still say the highlight of my entire career was the day I finished. I came from Greece. and you walk up the street where you live.
Yeah.
After 6 years. And our mum would put it all out of, welcome home, Billy, you know.
Union Jacks.
Oh, yeah, that old lady, she was a darling, she was.
I bet it was proud of you.
Ask him. She used to borrow money off him.
Did I?
When he was 9. Yeah, that's for a packet of fags. But the army is a good career for anybody that isn't madly in love with a girl and can go out and go abroad. So it's a wonderful life.
How much a part of it, Bill, was that you were 16, you were in Brummagem that was getting a pasting, and you wanted to take it back and give them a bit back?
That's right. That's right. I'd never killed anybody or shot anybody till the first guard in Greece, just outside Athens. And it was a requisition German vehicle park. There was tanks and lorries, and these guys used to try and get through to pinch the tyres.
Yeah.
Get after the tyres, and we got to stop them. And I was in a Jeep, and this bloke was driving it, and we went round this bend. It was all barbed wire all the way around. It was as big as about 4 football pitches. And we saw this gang getting through the wire. And one of them got up to fire at us. They do it to hold you back, like.
Yes, yeah.
So I just let go. I wasn't particularly aiming. I killed 2 of them.
Did you?
And I don't know what to do after.
Yeah.
I was telling you what, I shot 2 blokes. I've shot 2 blokes. What were you worried about? You know, they've done it before, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a thing you got to harden yourself to when there is conflict.
Yes.
There was a big mass demonstration in Athens just after the war, and the civilian war was on, and there's about 20,000 people all marching round Ammonia Square.
Yeah.
And they got to come up this street. And we were told to stop them. And our platoon was across there, and we got to fire over the heads. But I'd got to have an observation point. I was a sergeant by that time, and I was in a little shop doorway down a little cellar watching for them. And I thought to myself, well, if they come past here, that's it. That's it, sir. And, of course, it's no good anybody telling me what they've done in the army, about they're brave and all that. You get the wind up.
Yeah.
You're scared. You get them butterflies in your stomach. No good throwing your chest out and saying, I've done this and I've done that. You do it because you've got to do it. Yeah. And you've got to stand by your mates.
Yeah.
That's why I love it up at the United Services Club. Up there, you meet them. And they don't start talking about what they've done and what they haven't done until we're all together in a gang. Remember old so-and-so, he did this. I've had a sergeant. I've been in the army about 6 weeks, and I hesitated to do something. And the sergeant put his nose 1/8 of an inch from my nose, and he swore for 10 minutes and never used the same word twice.
Honest to goodness.
Oh, and I was a good soldier after that. And that's what some of these yabbos want today.
So what happened? You were 16.
Yeah.
You go down to where when you do your training?
We had to go down to Dorchester. We had to go down to Dorchester, and we did 6 weeks primary training, and we did 8 weeks corps training. Then you was motored off to battalion. There was the 4th Battalion, 5th Battalion. There was the 2nd Battalion, which finished up in Burma. I had an old mate there. He ain't long passed away. He joined him in 1929 because he was fed up of sleeping 4 to a bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's things like that. And once you're in, you make your friends. You get your own little clique.
Yeah. And
you stick together. I'll never forget, they taught me to play pontoon. I had never been a card player. I was coming on leave once, and I was to try and save a little bit of money because I started coaching Nancy just before I got blowed up. And
childhood sweetheart.
Yeah, and I married her. We've been married 62 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, lovely Nancy. Love her to bits, but I don't tell her, so.
And, trouble is today you've told 500,000 people.
Oh, I forgot that. But,
so go on, you come back pontoon.
And I'd saved a couple of quid. Well, a couple of quid in them days.
A lot of money.
And this bloke, I should have known he was a smart ass. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
It's all right.
And Fancy going pontoon, mate? Well, you know, London to Birmingham. Very short.
That's the time.
And I lost every penny I got.
You did?
I did. Went to Dad, I said, I've got out, because my dad straight away slips me a quid, and now old girl slips me a quid.
Oh, you give that to Nancy? I bet this is the first time she knows about that now, don't she?
Yeah, those are the days.
Come on, how did you meet Nancy?
I was working at a place called Bayliss and Wiley. I started there just before the war. And they made bicycle accompaniments, what you put in between the wheels, gobs, spokes, and all that, you know. Not a bad little job. And I spotted Nancy. She worked further up. And somebody said to me, you want to take her out? She keeps looking at you. And then one of my cousins went up to Nancy and says, that fellow wants to take her out. We went to the Warwick. I took her to the Warwick. And then she said, Mum and Dad would like to meet you. That's after the first days. Right? And,
you were in trouble then, Billy, my lad.
Yeah. And the thing was, after that first date, I got blowed up on the Friday night. Right? And I went to work. I didn't go to work. I went to visit to tell them I'd stopped something and I couldn't go to work. I got my arm in a sling and I was working away and the roof was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, rain coming in. That's still working. That's what won us the war.
Yeah.
The thing that really won us the war, in my own personal opinion, is Dunkirk.
Yeah.
If we hadn't got them nearly 400,000 troops off them beaches, we'd got nothing.
Yeah.
And they come back and they retrained and they held us together. But
we were open then, wouldn't we? If we hadn't got it back, he'd have invaded, we'd have had no chance.
We were helpless. But what gets me is the attitude of everything. That was all. You wouldn't have thought that was losing a war until the end got to come over. It was to sing and have a laugh. The pubs, was it 7p for beer? Then it went up to 10p, and everybody was highly indignant. 10p, they just stuck it up 15p, ain't they?
Yeah.
Now, that's disgusting.
So what happened to you after you'd done your training? Where did you move to then?
I moved to Colchester, then I moved to Norwich, and I was a physical training instructor for a couple of years.
You're going to be the tough boy then.
And I won the Eastern Command Welterweight Championship, scrapping. Then I turned professional in 1943. And then while I was in Greece, I got stabbed in the hand.
Yeah.
They had a fracas there, turned a guard out and done a bit of damage. And the last time I boxed, it was Nancy done well out of that because there was a boxing booth on A Barnes.
Yeah.
And my mates was going to train for football and I was going to have a drink after, and I hadn't got the price of a drink. Right? So I thought, boxing booth, pound around. If you stop pound around. I thought, well, I ain't done any for a long time, but I can manage 3 rounds, keep out the way, and earn £3, and I did. And I went back up the road, I said to Nancy, here's £1 for you, and I'm going to have a drink with my mates now. There we are.
So what did you do during the latter part of the war, and what was happening?
Latter part of the war was... the Civil War started in Greece.
Just as well.
And I got to make the battalions up. And it's another thing that opened my eyes down there. The Gurkhas, they were in Greece. And they were tough people. Do you know, they'd walk all day and then act as if we used to have foot inspections and umpteen breaks. But they were the toughest people. And when we toast over the United Services Club now, as chairman, I have to propose a toast after every meeting. It was for the Dorset Regiment and the Gurkhas. Yeah. We always include, because they had a rough deal.
They had had a rough deal, and it's not right, is it?
Now, they sent a youth brigade over here some years ago, and we sent to the ministry over it. Now, when British troops now that are at stations in Germany, they can take their wives, they take their families with them. Yeah. But when the Gurkhas come over here, no allowances, none of this.
And they don't get the same pension either, do they?
No, it's all wrong. I'd sooner have a Gurkha by the side of me. You heard the old story about the Gurkhas fighting the Japs. Yeah. And when he threw his curly knife, and the Jap says, he missed me. And the Gurkha says, wait till you nod your head.
Do you know, it's
I
funny.
always roll up when I hear that.
Bill, that's one of the earliest memories I got. My granddad was an old contemptible.
Yeah, was I?
My granddad Chin.
Yeah.
And he used to sit, I was only 6 or 7, well, perhaps 8 when he died.
Yeah.
But I remember, that's where I got my love of mile from. He used to sit me on his lap, and he'd have the old jug,
Yeah.
and he'd give me a sip of his mile.
Yeah.
And he used to tell this story from the First World War, the same story.
Yeah.
And he said, we had some Johnny Gurkhas fighting with us, and this German sniper kept on putting his head up above the parapet and saying, aha, Johnny Gurkha, you can't get me. And the Gurkha said, just wait, don't worry. And he went, you can't get me. And Johnny Gurkha said, shake your head, and he fell off. And I always used to, our granddad used to get me on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking back, the war years, for all the horror, for all the sadness, the tragedy, there was something special come out of the British people during the war, weren't there, Bill?
Yeah, there was. It was the togetherness. Now, there's a lot of television footage about the Blitz over London.
Yeah.
You tried to break the people. Germans tried to break the people. But they didn't. But you see some of them flames all over the place, kids getting killed.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than to see a family where the wife and the kids have got killed.
Yeah.
Anything that upsets me more than anything with all what's going on now is to see kids lying there, lying in the streets.
Yeah.
It ain't right. And these people, suicide bombers, blowing a bus up, half of them are women and kids.
Of course they are.
Well, there we are, you see this.
What goes through your mind on a day like today, Bill?
Today?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder whether it was worth it.
Mm.
When you see what's going on, you know. But I thought, I think to myself, if it ever come to the real nitty-gritty, them that stand up and be counted are the genuine Brummies, Manchester people, Bristol, you know.
Yeah.
You know who they are.
Yeah.
You know. They ain't the people that go robbing old people and the old ladies. No, I had a cheer of my life 3 days ago, or was it 2 days ago, where there's a 67-year-old chap got mugged for his pension, and he was an old-time scrapper.
Oh,
did you read it?
Nowadays,
oh, it was good, it was good. And he laid this bloke out.
Good.
There's 3 of them attacked him. Give us your pension. He says, I'm hard up enough now, he says. He said, you ain't having this. He said, we'll take it then. Bang. The other 2 run for their lives. They're all cowards.
Yeah.
When they're faced on one of that cowards. And this knife situation. Oh. But as I say, Dunkirk, in my opinion, was the pinnacle of this war. If the Germans had followed straight through after Dunkirk, we got nothing to stop them with. Yeah. But them blokes came back, retrained again, so get them right. I mean, that's the Home Guard. I joined the Home Guard when I was 15.
Did you?
Yeah. And rehearsing with broomsticks. You know, slope arms. You can't go up against a 6-pound anti-tank gun with the broom style, can you?
No.
But our blokes would have known if they're that too. Yeah. You know. It's it was lovely to be in a barrack room without a penny in your pocket. Now, our dad used to send me 20 woodbines every Tuesday. And inside the one packet, he put a 2-shilling piece.
Oh.
And on a Tuesday, that was heaven. The mail call would go. And all the calls, the bugle calls, well, you put your own words to them. Now, the mail call was da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, and we used to sing, letters for Lousy Lizzie, letters for Lousy Lou. And then the corporal would come in with the mail, you know. Our mum used to write me letters every day for a week. And then she wouldn't write them again for 4 or 5 weeks.
Honest to goodness. That's how it was.
That's how our mum was. I loved us to bits, you know.
How many was there in the family, Bill?
There was 5 of us, 5 kids. And Dad drove a great big Shire horse and a scrap iron, great big bags of coal. And when I was 13, 14, and I'd holidays from school, I said, I'll come with you, Dad. I'll come with you. And I ain't a big bloke, no, but I was stocky enough. And I said, carry a sack of coal off the... And he used to make it twice as quick. Visit a school, sir,
Yeah.
and he got to drop 20 bags off there. And he'd pull the plate up and drop it down the chute. It's...
What was your yard?
It
What was
was a terrace.
Yeah.
It was a terrace. There was one.
In Little Green Lane?
In Little Green Lane. Do you know the Cricketers' Arms?
Yeah, of course I do.
It was slap bang next door.
Really?
Slap bang right next door. Richmond Terrace.
So was you on the front?
Now I was halfway up the yard.
Halfway up the yard.
And there's that one lamppost. There was a tap in the yard.
Standpipe for the lot.
For the lot.
Yeah.
For the lot. And there was the brew house. There was the brew house.
The wash house.
And the old maid. Dippity-dumpty-dumpty-dumpty-dum. And our mum, if it was raining, all the washing used to be hanging round the house. There'd be a line across the front room and the back room. It's, kids talk today about hard times. They don't know what hard times are. And the pawn shop. Our mum's always going to the pawn shop. In on a Monday.
Out on a Friday.
Out on a Friday.
So the old man could go down the boozer in his suit.
That's right. Those were the days.
Bill, it's been a great pleasure talking with you today.
It's been nice to be here.
Will you give all the lads my best wishes?
I run away with myself when I start talking.
Lovely. Will you give Stan and everybody else my best wishes?
I will.
And all the Dorsets, and thank you for your support.
I most certainly will. And thanks for having me.
God bless you, mate. Take care. You're with Carl Chin on BBC W. And let's see if this CD will play now. It will. Here it is. Will you now go to Flanders?
Will you go to Flanders, my Malio? Will you go to Flanders, my bonny Malio? There we'll have ale and brandy, sack and sugar candy. Or will you go to Flanders, my Malio? Go to Flanders, my Malio. Will you go to Flanders, my bonny Malio? There you'll see the blady swirling, hear the pipey skirling. Oh, will you go to Flanders, my Malio? Go to Flanders, my Malio. Will you go to Flanders, my bonny Malio? There you hear the captain calling, see the surgeon crawling, and the soldiers, how they're falling, my Malio. cry, and the soldiers, how they died, my Ballyhone.
Will You Go to Flanders? A song that's played when you go around the Cloth Hall in Ypres, in that really moving museum.